Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to our channel Physics, where we actually learn physics. So, we have seen so far three problems from this chapter, that is units and measurements. Okay, now in this lecture we will see the fourth problem from the same chapter, units and measurement. Okay, it's a simple one. It's a kind of a discussion. Okay, it's not really a problem solving, it's a discussion kind of a problem. Okay, so we can just discuss it over here. We don't need to solve this. Okay, so let's go into this and let's solve this. Okay, so let's see what is given over here. This is the question that you can see on the screen. Explain this statement clearly. Okay, so you have to explain this statement. Okay, so the statement is, to call a dimensional quantity large or small, okay, to call a dimensional quantity large or small is meaningless without specifying a standard for comparison. Okay, now there is few more things given here. First, let's crack this statement over here. Okay, let's talk about this statement first, then we will solve these things. Okay, so the statement is, to call a dimensional quantity large or small is meaningless without specifying a standard for comparison. What do we mean by this? So it's very simple. Okay, see, what they are saying is, you need some standard for comparison. You need some standard for comparison. Okay, like for example, I would give you. Okay, see, you can't say something is small, you can't say something is big unless and until you define a standard for comparison. For example, I would give you, okay, like for example, I cannot say, okay, I cannot say that Earth is large, okay, in size. Okay, I cannot say Earth is large in size. Okay, I cannot directly say. Okay, I can say that Earth is large in size, okay, as compared, okay, as compared to a normal human body or normal human being. Okay, that means in comparison to us, our body, okay, the Earth is too big, it's very large in size, isn't it? So over here, see, we required a standard for comparison, because we can't say that Earth is large directly, because Earth is not large in comparison to many of the other objects. Like Earth is very small in comparison to Sun. Okay, or if you take some other planets in our solar system, Earth is very small. Okay, Earth is, even if it is not very small, it would be at least small. It would be smaller than the other planets. Okay, so we can't directly say that Earth is very large or just large in size. You have to have some standard for comparisons. Okay, so first define a standard for comparison over here. Okay, just like, you know, we define unit of measurement. Okay, for every quantity we have defined a unit actually. Okay, for every quantity there is a unit, and all the measurements that we do are nothing but the comparisons with the unit of measurement. Okay, like when we say the length is 100 meters, okay, length is 100 meters, it's actually not 100 meter, it's 100 times 1 meters. Okay, that means again you can see we have compared the length of any measured quantity. Okay, like right now, for example, this is the length and this is 100 meters. Okay, so it's not really 100 meters, it's 100 times 1 meters. It's 100 times 1 meters. Okay, so you have compared this length with the standard of comparison, that is the unit of measurement of length, which is nothing but 1 meters. Okay, so this is what you do in you know, with all the physical quantities. Like if you measure masses, so let's say mass is 50 kg, so it's not really 50 kg, it's 50 times 1 kg. Again you are comparing with the standard for comparison, that is the unit of measurement of mass. Okay, So everywhere we require some standard for comparisons. Okay, nothing is small, nothing is big in comparison. Okay, there is some comparison needed actually. Okay, you like if you say I am my size, for example, my height. Okay, let's say my height is small. If you are saying height is less, for example, but well, I can't say directly, okay, because my height is not small or not less. I know that because in comparison to a small child, my height is definitely large. But when I compare myself with some other people, like the great Khali, for example, he is 7 foot. Okay, so definitely in comparison to him, my height is definitely less. So again, you can see I required some standard for comparison to compare my height. Okay, so nothing is small, nothing is big. We require some standard for comparison. So to call a dimensional quantity large or small is meaningless actually without specifying a standard for comparison. You require some standard for comparison. Okay, definitely. So now in view of this, let's reframe the following statements. Okay, what we will do is we will use the same ideas. This, okay, we require a standard for comparison. This is the main idea, and using this main idea, we will reframe these statements that we see here. Okay, because these statements may be wrong in some cases actually. Maybe some corrections are required, so we can check these out. Okay, the first statement is atoms are very small objects. Again, you can see there is no standard for comparison. Okay, see, we know they are small in comparison to us because we can't see them through our naked eyes. Okay, so we know that this is small, but we have to specify here, right? We have to specify some standard for comparison because there are some other objects which are even smaller than atoms also. Then that means what? That means that the atoms are large in comparison to some objects, isn't it? So that's why we can't say small objects. Okay, directly we need some standard for comparison. Like, see, for example, if I say a fruit apple, okay, fruit. So in comparison to this fruit, the size of this fruit, definitely atoms are very small, isn't it? Atoms are very small objects in comparison to this. Okay, or even if you use the cricket ball, for example, okay, something like this. Don't go with the drawing. Okay, like this one, the cricket ball. Okay, if you use this in comparison to this, again it is very small. Okay, or even if you use anything like your own human body, so in comparison to this, again atoms are quite small. The mobile phone, atoms are very small comparison to the size of the mobile phone. Okay, in this way, in fact, if you choose anything that is right now near you that you can see with your naked eyes, okay, in comparison to all those objects, the atoms are very small. But we need some what? Standard for comparison. So first of all, we have to define here standard for comparison. So here the first statement should be reframed actually. Okay, first statement should be like written like this. Okay, atom, let's say for example apple, okay, to an apple, or let's say a football, okay, or any object that you can choose, okay, any other. Okay, so this is how we will reframe it. Okay, atom is a small object in comparison, okay, to an apple or football. Okay, so this one is done. Now second one, a jet plane moves with great speed. Again, there is no standard for comparison, so you have to reframe this one. So let's reframe this. See, jet planes, we know they move very fast actually. Okay, generally if you see, the speed of jet planes is greater than the speed of sound also. Speed of sound is how much? 340 meters per second. It's a huge number actually. Okay, this is the approximate number for the speed of sound. Okay, the speed of sound actually varies with temperatures. Okay, but let's not consider that. So this is 340 meters per second, the speed of sound, and over here the jet planes moves much faster than this also. Okay, faster than this also. Okay, so here they have written that jet plane moves with a great speed, but in comparison to what? So we have to specify some comparison over here. Okay, so we can write here a jet plane. Okay, a jet plane. Okay, see, we need some standard for comparison. So what we can say is, let's say for example, a car, our normal car or our truck or buses. Definitely buses or these trucks, they don't run as fast as the jet plane is very fast. You can, as I just told you, the speed, this one, it's very huge. Okay, it's generally greater than this actually. So trucks don't have this much speed actually. This is very huge actually. Okay, so that's why we can't really say. Okay, but we have to actually use something. So I will use truck over here. Let's say, let's use a truck, or let's use a, let's say, bike or a cycle. Okay, anything. Okay, you can use anything, because cycles, bikes, cars, okay, trucks, they all move very very slow in comparison to this jet plane. Okay, so that's why we can say here a jet plane, okay, or even the running human. Okay, like we run, we can't run as fast as this jet plane. Okay, I mean, running human or any other animal also, even no animal can run as fast as this. Okay, at least this is what we know. Okay, so jet plane moves with a speed greater than that of a truck, bike, bicycle, car, running human, etc. Okay, so these are some standards of comparison. Okay, so this is second one. Now we move to the third one.